Here we go, cool. I was just emailing Mark. That's Jingle Bell Cock, if anybody wants to look that up. Robin Slim Show.
Hey.
Hey, is this Mark?
Yeah, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. How you doing, brother?
I'm hanging in there.
That's cool, man. We just had a comedian who was not very funny on.
Yeah, he sucked.
He did. My girlfriend almost called and said, I thought you were a comedian. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I was watching a little bit of it. I said, Jesus Christ, that Suck My Cock song must have been for him, right?
I thought he was at least going to, like, make fun of me or something.
Yeah.
Or do that, man.
He gave me, like, I asked him what the transition from, because he's from Virginia. He moved to New York City. I asked him what the transition was like. He's like, it was like 2 trains and a bus. Like, yeah, that's borderline funny, but it's still kind of cunty. Like,
yeah, it's amateur hour, you know?
Yeah, man.
2 trains and a slut.
You know, if you give a fucking interview, you give an interview, right?
Yeah, exactly, dude.
You know, I'm not a comedian, but, you know, you get a few in me, I can be funnier than him. Come on.
It's not even a being funny thing. It's having a conversation with a couple
really.
guys. Like, that's it.
I mean,
like,
we
you
had
know, talk.
a singer on earlier who was very cool, very laid back and open.
And he was making jokes, too. He was funny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was funny. He was very funny, and that's what he asked why we had him on, because he's not our demo, and that's it, man. I'll talk to anybody if they're a good person, you know.
Yeah, he was just, I don't know, he took it too serious or he was going to cry, one or the other, I don't know. I don't know what his problem was.
Now, Mark, you're a former Mafia member turned author, correct?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I was a little scared. Like, I'm like, shit, we better not piss him off.
I'm still nervous.
Yeah, don't piss me off. Everything's cool. You know?
Everything's cool.
Even if you do, I can let it slide as long as you don't embarrass me, you know?
No, definitely not.
I got a sense of humor. I don't really give a shit.
Nice. Yeah, we don't either. What? How long did you do that for, the Mafia?
I did it since about 1989. So we're going on what? Wow, my math sucks.
Me too.
26 years,
I was going to
maybe,
say 20-something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 27 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, are you like full Italian? Would you be able to be a made man?
I do have a button, but I'm half Italian.
Yeah, me too. Like my family always like makes fun of me. They call me an Irish hoodlum all the time. My dad's side of the family.
I'm half too. My mom's half is Italian and my dad's half is German. But I resemble the Irish. I mean, Irish. The Italian side more. So I got lucky there.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know something, they changed the rules. Because, you know, the talent pool, you're going to find 100%, you know, Italian guys that, you know, the talent pool shrunk over the years, I'll be honest, you know. You know, the feds, too. I mean, obviously they're going to put the eyes on guys that are 100% Italian, you know. And then, you know, you got to be a little bit savvy, you know. You got to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Some of these mafia codes and everything, you know, you see it in the movies, like you got Henry Hill and Goodfellas, you got him saying, you know, this goes back to the old country and I could never be made. You could never be made because you were a drunk and alcoholic drug addict. That's why you couldn't be made. You know?
I was going to ask you how you felt how you felt Hollywood portrayed it, if it was accurate or not.
Well, you know something, I do think it was somewhat accurate, but I don't know. I mean, Henry Hill, I mean, he was Howard Stern's laughingstock. I mean, he was an embarrassment. I don't know if you ever saw some of those things with Howard Stern when he was on there.
Yeah, I didn't actually. I've never seen that.
Oh, you got to see it. You know, sometimes, you know, go through YouTube one of these days, right, and pull up some of those interviews with Stern. It's great. You'll love it. I mean, he is so fucked up drinking. You know, and he's begging. Howard saying, hey, tell us about some hits. And Henry never even picked up a gun, for God's sake, right? So Henry's saying, you know, give me a drink of that. Give me a sip of that vodka, and I'll tell you about a hit. You know what I mean? He's making shit up to get a drink. But, yeah, you know, I don't know. It's just all that... you know, I think it sounds good for the public, and it sounds good for people to say, well, you know, you got to be 100% Italian. But no, it changed. It definitely changed. You know.
What did you do in the Mafia?
I did a little bit of everything. I mean, I was an earner. I was part of what we had a war in our family that started in 1989, and that's basically where the family split into two factions. It was what we called the renegade faction and the Cosa Nostra faction. What happened was we got a new boss, and there was another boss who was trying to take him out. In other words, the sanctioned boss was Frank Cadillac Salami, but he was shot in June of 1989, the day before my 19th birthday. And after that, they had a making ceremony in Medford, Massachusetts, where I'm from, in October of '89. And Frank Salami told people, don't go. Listen, don't go to that ceremony. Don't go. And it wound up that the FBI actually had the place wired. And it was the first time in history that the FBI actually caught a making ceremony on tape. And so now you got Salami who makes the power play. Now most of his competition is at that making ceremony because they're the opposite faction who had just tried to take him out, but he lived. Because simultaneously, as they were shooting Salami, simultaneously within 4 hours they killed the underboss, and they found him on the eastern side of the Connecticut River with two in his head. So now, if Salami had died along with him, it's a clean sweep. There's no war, but Salami lived.
Wow.
Yeah.
My God, man. Dude. Yeah.
So then it became, either pick up a gun for Salami or pick it up for the other side. Wow. Pick your side, and that's it, because we're going to go at it. You know, there's no set boss. There's no set. This is going to be it.
So what part of Italy, is your, particular family and faction from? Did it matter, or was that something that actually was, important?
My entire mother's side of the family is from Syracuse, Sicily. In other words, her grandmother and grandfather, they didn't speak English when they came over. They came over to Ellis Island, and they spoke with the Dick accent. So my mother's 100%. And some guys will tell you that, look at John Gotti Jr., okay? He just wrote a book as well, right? His mother is part Russian. And he's still a made man. But again, some people will say if your father carries the last name that's Italian, you can get your button, you know. But I believe it, and as I said, the talent pool shrunk. But I also believe, too, that your mother, you carry your mother's genes. I mean, you live in your mother for a while.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I stayed there a little too long, but I was comfy.
Those Italian mothers, man, they baby you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm turning 40, and I still get my laundry done and all that shit.
Of course.
What were you saying, Pete?
I don't have an Italian mother, but my grandmother on my dad's side, she's Italian.
She treats you like a king.
I take care of her, you know.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Italian boys do that, you know. They get, they get class. They know, you know. I mean, it's the circle of life. You know, they take care of you when you're younger, and you got to take care of them when you're old. When they're older. But in the meantime, they got to do your laundry.
Yeah, exactly, right? You got to do something. That's like you said, too. I lived with my grandmother. My dad and me had a big falling out and when I was in my late 20s or mid-20s, I'd say. And I lived with my grandmother for a couple of years, man. She had no problem taking me in.
Really? That's good.
Yeah, man. And that's my mom's side. Like I said, that's the close side, the Italian side. We're real close. My dad's side, the German side, dude. You see them on funerals, maybe.
Yeah, that's exactly
Germans, and that's the
like,
same thing with.
Always see them at funerals.
Same thing with Irish and English, man.
that's exactly.
They
like
want
me.
nothing to do with
it's
you.
a tough situation sometimes. I mean, your grandmother's always there for you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it is in Italian families.
Yeah, man. And like I said, my dad's side as well. Like his father wanted him out of the house by 18, and my dad tried the same with me. And I was like, dude, I ain't gonna fucking last out there. I can't fucking take care of myself.
It sucks out there on your own, man. I know. It's not easy. Like every time I would, I would live with a broad or something, and I'd end up having to come back to my mother's because she'd keep all my shit and, start yelling and screaming, and I needed a place to stay, Yeah, you keep the house, you keep it, and I'll see you later.
You're too crazy. I can't do this shit anymore.
No.
That's the woman, I mean.
Yeah, I got you. It's one of those things. We never grow up.
That's true, too. Definitely not.
Look at you. You guys look like you still haven't grown up.
No.
Not really. No.
I think there's magic to that. Like, childlike innocence.
Yeah, you guys are just kicking around, having a few cocktails, and doing it right.
That's it, man.
I mean, what else are you going to do on a Wednesday night, right? You hang with the boys, you throw down a few, and that's it.
Exactly, man.
Mark, I wanted to ask you, you did a radio show with an XDA?
Yes, I did.
How was that, like, chemistry?
It was uncomfortable. Because her and I became pretty close friends, and I don't know.
Wow.
You get that. I got this thing. Like, I used to say it about, like I could never, date a cop because I don't eat shit. Like a female cop. 'Cause and that's just the way I feel. So, as I started to hang out with her a little bit, too, we would go out for dinner and drinks and all that. And, she wasn't a bad piece of ass, but it was like she's a DA. She's a former DA. I can't get into that.
Right? I was going to say that would cause some tension.
Yeah, plus, something, too, you get spotted having dinner with it like an XDA. I mean, guys are looking at you like, what the hell is he telling her? Right?
Oh, yeah, are you a rat type of shit? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's
it was
crazy.
completely innocent, but she was working on a Whitey Bulger book, and,
Whitey Bones.
Naturally she sought me out because she wasn't really, she didn't know much about the mafia, and she's got this, she had this contract with the big publisher, and they were paying for her to go to the trial, the Whitey Bulger trial every day, and she needed somebody from the street that could actually give her that aspect of her story.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's basically what that's what our relationship consisted of a little bit.
Wow.
I would tell her a little bit about what's going on in the streets, what happened back in, because we're going back with Whitey Bulger. We're going back a long time. So, I helped her out a little bit. But like I said, yeah, it was innocent after that. I just, like I said, I was never good with the idea.
Yeah. I was going to say, what made you get out of the mafia?
It's a grind. It's not so much. It's not like it used to be. It's more or less. A few years ago, they had a real big investigation where I was the target of it, and they were coming in at a level that was below the belt. They were doing things to me, law enforcement, the FBI, the state police. They were doing things to me that weren't on the level. I mean, they were breaking they weren't so much bending the rules, they were breaking them.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's what Boston's all about, is that, the whole Whitey Bulger thing is about the corrupt FBI, where he had them in his pocket. He was working with them. So naturally, with me being on the opposing side as Whitey Bulger, naturally they're not going to want to help me out.
Yeah.
They're going to look to break my balls. Wow. And that's what they did, man. They were, something that I really, I don't want this to be like, I'm anti-cop or I'm anti-this, but I don't like them.
Yeah, no, I don't either, man. Like, I still get fucking nervous getting pulled over. I lived out of state for a while, too, and, like, the first time I got pulled over, I was really getting ready to get shitty with the cop, and the cop was nice. I've never experienced a police officer nice. Like,
that's rare.
You're right.
That's
like,
rare.
yeah.
Like I said earlier, man. Like back in like the 70s, they used to just get these slobs
Well,
off the street.
Even
man.
like, I lived up north as a teenager. You get pulled over. What are you doing in this part of town? I'm going to a friend's house, asshole. Like, what are you doing over here? Like, come on.
My uncle almost got.
They're going to the same friend's house as you.
Yeah, probably getting the same fucking butt I got, dude. Like, yeah, what are you?
You know, if you got better bud than them, fuck it. Hey, come to my friend's house. You know?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I had more clients when I was in the drug game that were in that field. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I mean, I would never say it, and look it. I'm not just saying this to say it, but look, if they got a job to do, I understand that. You know, I respect what they do. Good for them. You know, but they got vices just like you and me.
Yeah, I had a friend that went to college for criminal justice, and I think his last year he dropped out because he smoked pot, and he's like, dude, I can't put people away for doing the same shit I do.
Yeah,
I do it every fucking day.
I got a story. My dad,
exactly.
My father.
Listen, let me tell you something. If you bring me a nice kush, I mean, a nice blueberry kush or an OG kush, I mean, I'm not going to say no.
Right? Exactly. Who would?
Yeah.
You'd be crazy too.
Go ahead.
Well, anyway, my dad was saying, like, when he became a ranger, like a state park ranger.
Yeah.
But they still make you go through the police academy. One of his buddies that he went through with, he said, like, the graduation day when they were going to do the piss test, the guy just broke down. He's like, dude, I was at a party, man, and I smoked up and everything. What do I do? And they were basically telling him, dude, you're screwed.
You're fucked. Get out of here.
Dude.
I had a friend who came home from
the
military once, and he smoked a dust blunt. On his birthday fucking leave. And, he was kind of didn't realize when he went back he'd be tested, and he pissed hot.
Wow.
Well,
I'll tell you, one time in my life I tried dust, right? And I was never invited back to the Pearl Street Italian Festival after that. I don't know what the hell I did to this day, but... let's put it this way. They don't want to see me there anymore. Because when you do that, you're walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You take a step in front of you. You don't know if it's a fucking landmine, but in your head you think it is. You know?
Yeah, right? Oh,
you're
God.
saying shit to people you don't even know. But, yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. We had that real green spearmint tasting stuff.
Yeah.
But I was a kid,
Yeah.
I'm not like that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Me neither, bro. Me neither.
Like I said, I'll smoke a J here and there, a nice blunt if I have to. I mean, nothing crazy, I mean, those days are over.
Yeah, man.
So, like I said, these cops, they want to preach it, they want to talk about it, and they most of them are beating their wives, and they're worse than us.
Exactly. Yup.
I mean, you see it every day, like in Boston where I live, right? Every day on the news, you got a cop that gets drunk, has a domestic, gets himself in trouble, and, he gets suspended from the force, but he gets taken back because that union is so strong.
Yeah.
If you did it, let's say, if you
ridiculous.
were working at a company and you did something like that, man, your ass is gone.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be done.
Right. No one's going to back your play, right?
Yup.
Nope.
No.
Not at all.
The union for the cops is so fucking ridiculous. I remember, what was it, like 10 years ago or 15 years ago when the cop blew through the stop sign and killed the two girls in the minivan, but he had no lights and no sirens, and he didn't get fired, didn't even get suspended. They put him in a different
District?
put him in a different precinct.
Wow.
Really,
Yep.
huh?
Killed two girls. They were like 19 and 17.
I mean, look at it. This is, this is reality, man. They're again, I respect what they do, but I respect people that are good at what they do.
Yep.
You understand the difference?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
you
I've
know,
heard...
if you want to be a fuck up, you could be a cop, you could be a criminal, you could be a dentist. You know what I mean? I'm still looking for the dentist who gave me that root canal because it hurts like a mother.
Me too, bro.
But you know, I'm just saying. I mean, you know, it's just the abuse of power thing that comes with any. You know, when you get a little bit of power, obviously, you know, it takes a lot not to abuse it. Am I right?
Yeah. Yup.
I mean, it's like that in the mob, too, because some of these guys get what we call a God complex, meaning they have the power of God. They can decide whether you live or you die, and that's that. And sometimes it just completely goes to their head. Like, you got psychopath guys who stopped counting their bodies after, like, 20, you know? And I can tell you one thing is if your number is up, you're done.
Yeah.
And these guys are going to go home and they're going to have dinner after, and it's not going to make shit of a difference to them.
Wow.
It's not. It's not. My old partner, they wanted him for 6 murders, okay? The ones that they knew of. But they ended up getting him on this other one where he tried to frame me for it. And that's what it is in the mob. It's always your best friend. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Well, that's like Kuklinski, the Iceman.
Oh, man.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
That guy's got more stories than Walt Disney.
You got that right.
Well, Mark, you are funnier than the comedian.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
are fucking cooler and funnier.
That
on,
wasn't
man.
tough
Way
to
more
do.
interesting.
No, really.
We got to wrap this up, brother, but where can everybody find you?
Okay, you can get my books, okay? I got a book called Rogue Mobster, The Untold Story of the Boston Mafia, and I got a book titled Boston Mafia, and they're exclusively on Amazon.
Nice.
Because I just got the rights back to them in April, okay? I had a big falling out with the publisher. We'll talk another time about that. He's a piece of shit. But I got the rights back, and anybody that wants to buy the books, they're very good reads. You'll like them, and strictly on Amazon.com.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking to us, and I will tweet you the interview when it goes on YouTube and SoundCloud.
Sounds great. I appreciate it, my friend.
I appreciate it, too. Thank you so much.
Good one,
All right,
sir.
pal.
Take care, Mark.
Take it easy.
All right.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good one, sir.
Goodbye.